Welcome back. For the past 20 years, CNN has covered politics up, down, and sideways. The network took on its first big assignment in July 1980 when it was only a few weeks old.
More than $2 million has been spent making this place ready for delegates and television. All the networks are here, including this year's newcomer to the World Series of TV journalism.
Our first convention was the Republican convention in Detroit at Joe Louis Arena. And we were so poor in those days that our studio space was up in the rafters.
This is the cable news network Sky Booth, which is having its inauguration tonight. 4 stories high over the convention hall, not recommended for those who have fear of heights.
So there we were, Bernie Shaw and I, tossing a thing back and forth between us.
There have been the young Republicans, the college Republicans.
Except that every once in a while the band would start playing and there'd be a big hoopla and would totally drown out what we were trying to do.
After the conventions in the summer, the fledgling network tried something unconventional in the fall.
The League of Women Voters is pleased to welcome President Jimmy Carter and Governor Ronald Reagan.
On October 28, 1980, Ronald Reagan and Jimmy Carter met for a debate in Cleveland. But a third candidate, independent John Anderson, was not invited. In an unheard-of programming move, CNN decided to add Anderson to the mix.
CNN will carry the start of the Cleveland debate live until Reagan and Carter have replied to the first question. Then Congressman Anderson will reply to that question. And we will then resume the proceedings in Cleveland, but then from tape.
When the League of Women Voters refused to let John Anderson debate against Reagan and Carter, we inserted him.
The debate opened.
This, I believe, has assured that our interests will be protected.
Question was put to Carter. Same question was put to Reagan. Then CNN cut away to us.
Now we are here in Constitution Hall, and let me try to adapt the question for you, Congressman Anderson.
And I asked the same question of John Anderson. So he answered, that's fine.
Then we were going to come back for the rebuttals, and each would get a rebuttal. Well, that sounds great in the first, 45 seconds. It worked fine.
Carter's administration.
So now we have to go to the debate in Cleveland, joining the tape of what is now 3 minutes old. And every time we did that, we'd fall further and further behind.
As a foundation is our plan for the years ahead.
Mr. Ellis, do you have a follow-up question from Mr. Carter?
Yes, Mr. President, you have...
At one point, as I understand it, one of the tape guys turned and asked one of his fellow tape workers, a girl, for a date. And that was the first domino. And it went boom, 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 boom. And it never came back after that.
Total technical screw-up.
We're having a little difficulty getting the tape queued up to the right place. 4 years from now, we'll do this better.
It was a great idea. It's a great stunt. But forget good intentions. It was good television, even if it was bad.
In the years since 1980, CNN has increasingly become a place where politics happens. Is there any scenario in which you would run for president? It's devoted an unprecedented amount of time to the players and the process, the roads to victory or defeat, and sometimes total self-destruction.
It was front-page news in the Miami Herald, but Democratic presidential candidate Gary Hart says it isn't so.
There was the story of Senator Gary Hart, a leading contender for the Democratic nomination. Back in May 1987, he challenged the media to investigate rumors about his womanizing.
Follow me around, Hart said. I don't care. I'm serious.
And they better.
I think he threw down the gauntlet to the press by saying, I'm doing nothing wrong. You can follow me if you want.
The challenge was accepted. His involvement with model Donna Rice was discovered. His race for the presidency was over.
I know I could have been a very good president, particularly for these times. But apparently now we'll never know.
What we have seen since then is everyone goes under a microscope to be a candidate. And so I think it's changed the entire political system, what happened to Gary Hart.
What that said was there's virtually no place that is secure and sacred, that's your zone of privacy. Clearly that exploded with Bill Clinton.
Governor Clinton, what's your relationship with Jennifer Flowers?
There really isn't one, obviously. When the Jennifer Flowers story first broke, it was when he was in New Hampshire. And most of us thought that the man is toast.
he is toast. He will never survive this. This guy is out of here, which first of all goes to show you why I should never listen to reporters on predictions, but second of all, gave us our first indication of what a survivor Bill Clinton is.
My fellow Americans, on this day, with high hopes and brave hearts, in massive numbers, the American people have voted to make a new beginning.